A local police chief is back from a 3-day suspension he gave to himself. It's great to see you this Friday. I'm Andrea Walker. It's a controversial topic across the country that's now made its way to our area. For the first time ever, every officer in the Franklin Police Department is wearing a body camera. Another county in our viewing area is trying to make the change from dry to wet. Our Whitney Davis spent the day in Morgantown to see how the community is feeling about the possibility of being able to buy and sell alcohol. We'll get to your 7-day forecast in just a moment, but right now we have some breaking news out of Bowling Green. Kentucky State Police are currently conducting a manhunt for 30-year-old Adrian Barnes. Kentucky State Police say Adrian Barnes will be facing a slew of charges, but they have to find him first.
Now we'll get you under the...
All right, thank you so much, Kayla. Obviously, we're having some audio issues right there, but we will get back to Stephen Harmon's interview later on tonight, so obviously stay connected to us. We're going to keep updating you on this breaking story, and the good news is no one has been hurt at this point. And of course, we often talk about the victim's family in a tragic case like this one, but how did the Madden family act in court today? Good evening once again. I'm Andrea Walker with an update on your primary election results. Well, the tides seem to be turning right now in the race for the Republican nomination for governor. Earlier tonight, it looked like Matt Bevin would win that nomination, but now we're not so sure. Tonight is the second day of the 25th annual U.S. Bank Balloons, Tunes, and Barbecue Festival, where it's all about supporting a good cause and having a great time out here. Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for this special live edition of WBKO at 6. I'm Andrea Walker.
And I'm Jake Boswell. We are standing, if you're wondering, inside an actual hot air balloon. Believe it or not, Andrea and I have enough hot air. We've been able to fill this entire thing up.
In 60s and 70s, then 60s.
70s and 60s.
Yeah,
and 70s
you get the idea. It is not your...
for December. It's off to California for the Western Kentucky University Lady Toppers as Selection Monday comes to an end. Well, Shane, it is a great day to be a UK fan as the Wildcats easily beat West Virginia last night to move on to the Elite Eight. The latest jobs report is out and June's unemployment rate fell to 5.3%. That's a low not seen since early 2008. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Andrea Walker. Jake and Lauren have the night off. It is a historic day across the country and a hard-fought victory for the gay rights movement. Joining me now is Dora James with the Bowling Green Fairness Coalition. Now, first of all, Dora, what does this day mean for you? And what do you want to say to people? This is obviously a polarizing topic. What do you want to say to people on the other side of the issue that maybe don't understand what you've been fighting for? Hey guys, we're in the basket of one of these hot air balloons. Now, Mother Nature decided not to really cooperate with us tonight, but there could still be the balloon glow tonight. Tell us about those plans. Fights at school are not uncommon, but it's not every day that we see a fight caught on camera between a teacher and a student. Thanks, Jean. You know, Kentucky is obviously a basketball state, but baseball was, is, and always will be America's pastime. And that's why we're here at the Bowling Green Ballpark to celebrate the Hot Rod's first homestand. Now, you know, Andrew, the thing about a live show is you kind of have to be able to go with the flow, because our original plan was to talk about what a beautiful day it is. But it's raining now, so not so much. Thank you so much for joining us. This is such an awesome experience for you to be here. I know a lot of people out there are really excited to see your show tonight. Now, for anybody out there who maybe hasn't seen the show on Discovery, tell us what we can expect for tonight's show. Now, I know that at the end of this show, you all do Q&A, and that's always one of my favorite parts of the show because you get these like crazy off-the-wall questions. So what are some of the weird questions that you've gotten?
You know, the little kids always want to ask the superlative questions. What's the stinkiest thing you ever encountered? And I don't want to tell them it was like a human poop out in front of them in the shop, because that's not funny.
Except I laughed because
exactly.
I'm so mature. Tonight is the 14th annual Spirits at the Depot event sponsoring Big Brothers Big Sisters of South Central Kentucky. There's going to be live music, great food, obviously spirits, and a live auction you won't want to miss. We're going to have an inside look at the preparations for this big event coming up in just a few moments. Flora? When it comes to mental illness, just because you can't see the pain doesn't mean it doesn't exist. It's a touchy subject, so much so that people struggling often feel isolated. But the truth is, they're far from alone.
Vicki Patterson had a nightmare for a childhood.
I was suicidal from the time I was about 11 to 13, somewhere along in that age range, until right at 55.
As a child, Vicki was molested, used in pornography, and raised in an unfit home. The abuse and neglect left her with many unanswered questions.
I knew I was different. I knew it through elementary school, I knew it through junior high, I knew it through high school. I knew it raising my children. but I didn't know what it was. It was like a piece of a puzzle missing.
It wasn't until she was 55 years old that Vicki was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, PTSD, and depression, the missing piece to her puzzle. Vicki's case, although extreme, is not uncommon. 1 in 4 Americans experiences mental illness. That's 61.5 million people suffering, often in silence.
I think that if it was anything but mental illness, we'd be talking about an epidemic. 1 in 4 people you know is most families. Mom, dad, 2 kids. So someone in that family's life is going to be touched by mental illness.
Mental illness is defined as a wide range of conditions that affect mood, thinking, and behavior.
They may have difficulty getting out of bed, they may have thought distortion, they might have a lot of anxiety about things. A smaller population of individuals will have more chronic mental illness, and for them it could be very significant. It could mean inability to keep a job, it could mean family falling apart, or it even could mean suicide and lead to death.
The following are signs that you or a loved one may want to speak to a medical or mental health professional. Excessive worrying, extreme sadness, problems concentrating, mood changes, avoiding social activities, changes in sleeping and eating habits, substance abuse, or thoughts of suicide. As you can see, suffering from a mental illness is hard enough, but overcoming the misconceptions about your disease can be even harder.
We've been shamed, we've been put down so much that we blame ourselves. We are the problem.
But as Dr. Bill Fole, a professor of school and clinical psychology at Western Kentucky University, explains,
blaming somebody for a mental illness is a way to push them further into the problem rather than getting them to seek help.
He went on to say that seeking help is often the hardest step toward recovery for 2 reasons: fear and ignorance.
People are afraid of the unknown. They're afraid that they have something that's, 1, not treatable, which is not probably true, and 2, that it's always lived in the culture that you don't need treatment for these, you just need to get over it. So you put those together, it's a pretty powerful message.
But there is hope.
The woman you met at the beginning of this story is proof that you can recover from mental illness. Vicki Patterson is now a peer specialist here at the Wellness Center of Bowling Green, where she's able to share her story in hopes of helping others.
My biggest goal has been to give back. I don't want to see young people going through the mental illness and it take them to 55 years old to come out of it.
Because life after mental illness,
it's a freedom. You're in a prison with mental illness. Your mind is in a prison, just as much as if I was in the jail. I was in a prison. I am free. I am free to be who I'm going to be.
Never give up. That's the motto Paxton Hawker lives by, and the source of that motto may surprise you. For inspiring others to never give up as well, we honor her as this week's Hughes & Coleman Hometown Hero. Tell them about your pillow.
I sleep on this every night, and I always punch him in the eye before I go to sleep.
For Paxton Hawker, deciding what to do for her senior pictures was a no-brainer. She wanted to be surrounded by her hero, WWE wrestler John Cena.
In the middle of the session, she was like, this would be awesome if John Cena could see these pictures. Can you show them to him? So then I was just like, I'm going to do whatever I can to make this happen for her.
Melissa shared the photo on Facebook, and it didn't take long for it to go viral.
I can't even put it into words, but I would say, it's been fun doing that because I love being famous. I've never been famous before, and I'm happy.
Looking at her now, you'd never know the struggles this young lady has had to face.
We found out when she was just a week old that she was going to have open heart surgery, and she had that when she was 7.5 months old and did really well from there. And then in 2009, she had a stroke, and since then she's had 4 strokes. And so she's had a lot of odds to overcome, but she's a fighter, and she's done really well. She's kind of defied the odds and everything that she's done, you know, and she's an inspiration.
I was born with Down syndrome, and my family had divorced, and I didn't like it, but I've been like John syndrome always says never give up and never back down from a fight.
He sounds like a great role model.
He is, to me.
I think instead of her getting the never give up from John, I think John should have got that from her, because she's never has gave up, and we've always tried to teach her, you know, can't is not a word. Until you try, you cannot do it, then you still tried to, you know, that way then you know it's not possible. But in her, everything's possible.
The night that she was born, and I remember in my mind thinking, will she go to school? Will she graduate? Will she go to prom? And then here we are 19 years later, and she's getting ready to go to prom, and she's going to graduate. So it's far beyond anything that I could have even imagined.
After everything she's been through, there's only one thing Paxton wants in return, the chance to meet her hero.
Is if he just had the opportunity to just have 5 minutes with her, that he could see the blessing that he would get from meeting her for that 5 minutes. I mean, you know, plus it would, okay, I'm gonna cry too, I'm sorry, but it's just a life experience, and I'm grateful that she's my child.
She literally prays for him. Every night at the supper table, she says a prayer for him. You know, in Sunday school or at church, they ask for prayer requests, and she will speak up and say, remember John Cena.
You know, like I said, I think it'd be worth it for him just to meet this one.
I agree.
You know, I had problems when she was born, you know, understanding everything. You know, I was mad at the world and everything because I didn't think she was treated fairly. But after being with her and everything, you know, we did the world a favor bringing her here. God knew what he was doing.
For inspiring her friends and family to never give up, we honor Paxton Hawker as this week's Hughes & Coleman Hometown Hero.
Now, we want to make this story go viral. The video is up on our Facebook page and on our website right now. So go share it, like it, post it, repost it, whatever you have to do to help this video reach John Cena, please do it. Let's help our hometown hero meet her hero and make her dream come true. We have wonderful news to pass along tonight about one of our former hometown heroes, Paxton Hawker. Now, if you'll remember, Paxton is WWE wrestler John Cena's #1 fan, and we here at WBKO wanted to help her meet him. It took months to make it happen, but we never gave up, and it certainly paid off. Take a look at the moment Paxton found out the great news.
Read the following information slowly and carefully.
Put that one down.
1. Paxton Hawker.
No, I, Paxton Hawker.
I, Paxton Hawker, will be meeting John Cena face to face on February 28th in Evansville. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Paxton's mom sent me that video on Christmas Day, and let me tell you, it was the best present I got this year. Thank you so much to everyone who shared our original video and helped make Paxton's dream a reality.